It's my duty to please the booty.
And Muzz got mad at me, the coach said, he goes, Jesus Christ, why don't you just work 2 nines? And I went, okay.
Please never do that.
Yep. So.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 505 of Spittin Chiclets, presented by Pink Whitney from our friends at New Amsterdam Vodka here on the Barstool Sports Podcast family. Good morning, everyone. If it's still morning to you, here we are. Stanley Cup has started. Big game won last night. Let's go around and say hi to the boys. We got a bunch of them today. Paul Biz Nasty Biston. Now, we'll go to you first. How's it going, buddy? How much you enjoy the game last night? Don't dive
It's going great. I actually want to ask you, RA, did you get some good sleep this weekend? Like the last couple weekends, you've been rested and you've been buzzing on these pods. So what was your weekend like?
Let's see. Friday, went down to usually see my boy Rizzo down the club. Cousin Kirk, quiet night, couple cocktails. And last night, watched the game with my dad across the way. Pretty relatively lame weekend once again for you, boy.
So you mentioned to us that you smoked I think you said a second intermission bone, and your dad took a second intermission edible. Like
Third
that's
period.
just like a fatherly son moment. Is he?
No,
he just
I
pulled
throw
out
Leo
his
under the bus.
edible, or?
No, dude, me and my brother used to try to get Leo 30 years ago because he has bad arthritis from all the years in the fight department. Like that, we're not trying to turn you into Cheech and Chong here. Like our uncle upstairs, God rest his soul, Uncle Paul, he would, me and Paul would share a bone on occasion. It helped him out. And then when my stepmom was sick and she started using, cannabis edibles, my dad used one and realized the efficiency of how good they work. So, he likes the chocolates, third period, so he can get a nice night's sleep. I go out the back deck, have a little something between periods too.
Imagine the McGonagall combos in the third
Oh,
period.
I
when they're
love
both
it.
just sky high.
Yeah. What do you guys normally talk about, you and your old man?
Anything under
Playboy
the sun. Like,
subscriptions?
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You'll see where I definitely a chip off the old block if you hear a couple of our conversations. No doubt about that. Very similar.
It's like halfway through the third, like Edmonton game on the line. He's like, you ever see that new Godzilla movie?
I was gonna tell him, but he don't like subtitles out. But dude, it's funny too, because I won't tell him if I have certain action. Like he gets more excited than I do, so I won't even tell him what I bet until like it wins, and I'll give him a heads up after. I said, I don't want a guy having a heart attack over.
Kind of like the Derby
$1
yesterday. For everyone who doesn't know, I'm sorry, the Belmont yesterday. What was the name of the horse? Dornoch, which is actually one of the top golf courses in the world, Royal Dornoch in Scotland. I think it's Royal Dornoch. And Dornoch wins. And then all of a sudden, we get a group text from RA with a winning ticket. Merles writes back, thanks for the tip before the race.
He was getting slaughtered, wasn't he, Merles and all those guys?
Yeah,
Like
I was
when
like,
you say slaughtered, what do you mean? Like, what do you like? How many units?
I have no idea. I bet you Portnoy lost close to $500,000.
Oh my God! And he was supposed to come.
That could be an exact. Dave definitely lost 150, 200 grand.
So our game 4 right now is up in the air. There was rumors that Portnoy might come in. I think he would be flying from Dallas because he would be at the NBA Finals. But he might have lost his money for his private plane. Therefore, we don't now have a private plane to go back to Florida for Game 5.
Air?
So
Chiclets
Air
and I that I just lost the flight from Dallas to Edmonton and
on a
Edmonton
fucking horse.
Florida. I go, you have unlimited money, and he said, no, I don't. Not anymore.
You guys want to hear the flight I just sent in to travel to see if I could get on this bird?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Sunday night, I'm hoping to fly from Edmonton to Calgary. Good old Canada. Quick little hour jump. Hang out there for a few hours. Then I fly overnight from Calgary to Atlanta. Land in Atlanta in the morning, and then take another little popper over into Fort Lauderdale. So I'll be there Monday around like noon or something. So it's a grind. Like Chiclets Air is needed, but I don't know.
I can really understand private aviation when I start hearing connecting flights like that. Like, I really get the fact that all these rich people are just hopping around on these planes like they're basically
like you're not one of them.
No greater thing with wealth, truly wealthy people. I'm not talking me. I'm talking wealth.
Yeah.
Than private travel. That is, like, if you're gonna try to say all the things truly wealthy, rich people have, I don't think anything sniffs just hopping on a bird and going wherever you want without stopping in Pearson for 24 hours like I did that time. So I flight out to Edmonton on Tuesday. I go I go like Denver, like long layover. I think it's Denver to Edmonton. Not bad, one stop, but the layover's long. And I could have got there like with way less hours through Pearson, Boston to Pearson, Pearson to Edmonton. I said no. No. I would walk out to Edmonton.
So that's actually
bird ankles before I went to Pearson.
Yeah, that's actually why we don't have Merles on the show right now. He's trying to actually book Chiclets Air. Now, we try to reinforce, don't book this with your personal credit card because this could not only be fraud, but the fact that you would have to individually sell these tickets. Mind you, I trust the Game Notes chat, so I think that you guys could fill that plane. Little nugget too, since we're talking about travel, before the game, they actually talked about like the travel that the Panthers had to deal with throughout playoffs. And then of course, Edmonton, every single series that Edmonton played in, they had to travel to a different time zone too. So I found that to be interesting. And I think that they overdid it on like probably close to 5,000 kilometers of more travel throughout the first 3 rounds, among all the travel throughout the course of the regular season playing out in the West too. Which
I thought
obviously
Dallas was the same. Is Dallas 2 hours behind Eastern time zone? That's Edmonton's.
No, maybe
Dallas
you're
an
right.
hour.
They did say it on the broadcast, so maybe they were wrong when they said that.
Well, they're way more dialed in than I am.
So
Yeah,
I
I
think
think-
Nashville is an hour off us, and then Dallas just clips a hair off of being in that 2-hour zone, right? Is that right?
I don't know, but either
Dallas is
way, I think
Central Time.
No,
Because
yeah,
obviously-
Dallas is only 1 hour behind Eastern time zone.
no
Wow, I
shit,
thought
eh?
they were
Okay, so
Okay.
they were right. So they were right.
The
Of
voice
course,
of
the
the Whitney.
broadcast is right, and we're wrong. I mean, that's just
Shocker.
That's par for the
Shocker.
course
Shocker.
Right there.
Ryan Whitney,
So,
the
guys,
Whit Dog.
how do I feel? Well, actually, first off, I got to let everyone know this show is presented by Pink Whitney. Thank you so much to everyone tuning in. Live show on a Sunday. Every game we got you recapped, and it's all because of Pink Whitney. Each episode is presented by Pink Whitney. Take your shot. New Amsterdam's own flavored vodka. Down in Florida, it's ripping. Up in Edmonton, I had pictures galore being sent to me of Pink Whitney shot skis, Pink Whitney big bottles. Everyone's crushing them at cookouts. Everyone's crushing them at the bars for the Stanley Cup Final. So thank you so much to everyone getting involved. If you haven't, go give it a shot. Local liquor store or your local watering hole. Grab a shot of Pink Whitney and take your shot. So thank you so much. And how do I feel? For coming off a loss in game 1 on the road in the Stanley Cup Final, I think I feel about as good as I could, Biz. I know that sounds crazy, and I'll get into maybe the scary negative side of what happened last night, but the positive side, I mean, everyone knows I'm a positive guy. It's positive first. It's sunshine and rainbows. They played their balls off last night. Edmonton
they
had
did.
a great game. Skinner had a good game. He gave up 2. They lost 3-0, empty net goal. He gave up 2 goals. Not really anything he could do on either one of them. 2 breakdowns, 2 goals against, 2, one breakdown worse than the other. That would be the second goal by Rodriguez. The first one was a little bit of a cheating on the offensive side in the offensive zone by McDavid. But other than that, I mean, I think it goes into what we said about Dallas, that Edmonton is fast, dude. And I don't think that Florida is as fast as people thought or nearly as fast as Edmonton. So in giving me hope that this is going to be a series, it's the way Edmonton played. They controlled, I'd say, 80% of that game. I know this sounds ridiculous, and I'm not an analytics guy, but when it proves my point and makes me feel better, I'll throw them out in the mix.
Mhm.
I think there's a Deservo win meter. It was 99.5%. 95.9%. It was, I mean,
The Deservo win meter.
yeah, that's what I'm leaning on. The
That's a
Deservo
thing.
win meter. And the expected goals for, another analytical fact that Pasha rings on about nonstop. I think they were about 5.7 expected goals, where Florida was around 1.8, 2.2.
You sound like Pasha right now, buddy.
Yeah.
No,
You
I
sound
know.
like Pasha.
Rambling.
And I get that. And a loss is a loss. And all these people coming at me on Twitter, you lost, though. It doesn't matter. You lost. Yes, I understand. But, buddy, they looked awesome. And we got goalied. I think we've just witnessed one of the greatest goaltending performances in a game in Stanley Cup Finals history.
Oldest goaltender ever post a shutout game 1 of the Stanley
Really?
Cup Finals. Yeah, first.
How old
First-
is he?
He's going to be 36 in
he's
September.
Oh,
What?
yeah. Bob's
Bob's
been
gonna
around
be
a
37
while,
in
man.
September, yeah.
He's been around a while. I know.
I know. You know what? I
Stone
actually
cold
should have
killer.
known that, because on the broadcast, because I don't know if you were watching Canada or ES or ABC, Sean McDonough was talking how he ran into Brian Boucher before the game, who was the starter in Philly when Bob came in. And I guess Boucher was going on like, I kind of knew 10 minutes in, oh fuck, I'm in trouble here. So that shows how long he's been in the league. I didn't even put that together.
I think the last time a goalie had started the Stanley Cup Finals with a shutout was Roberto Luongo in 2011, and which is crazy because they won that game. And then the stat before the game, I think it was Ron McLean who said it. The winner of Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals wins the series 75% of the time. That's a pretty high number. I thought that was I was like, what? I didn't expect
more
it
than
to
the
be that
NBA.
good.
The NBA is 70%. I thought the NBA would have been more.
And hey, if there's a little bit of positive juju going back to your Oilers, going back to 2011, it was Luongo with the shutout. Well, they ended up winning the first 2 games and then went on to lose the series. So I would agree with you, probably a do or die for the Oilers in Game 2, just given the way that the Florida Panthers are built. I was going to ask the group too, what did you guys make of the pregame festivities and the fact that they brought out the cup and put it on the ice? I don't know if they'd ever done that before, kind of dangle the carrot for the boys, maybe get the juices flowing a little bit more. And before you guys answer, I thought that it was the perfect amount of buildup for days before the Stanley Cup Final started. It wasn't too much.
One less day, Biz. Friday night, I was ready.
You were ready for
Friday night, I was like,
which is probably
NBA
good.
was Thursday. It's like, all right. And Friday night, I'm like, wait, no, another night.
Yeah, but they want to tickle the ball bag a little bit, get the blue balls going. That's what they're doing, baby. And then they dangle the carrot with the cup there. So did you guys love those pregame ceremonies?
Army? I mean, it's good PR, I guess. Sorry, but it's good PR. I mean, I saw people, the cup should be in the building until someone can win. It's like, settle down. It's a PR component.
Yeah, your algorithm.
I think it's good. Yeah, people see the cup. It reminds them of what's at stake, whatever. I mean, it's good PR. I don't see any negativity of showing the cup at Game 1.
I loved it, Army. I loved it.
Yeah. I was caught off guard when they did it. I'm like, no way they're doing this. I was like, no way they're doing this, in the sense that I was like, holy shit. I put myself like in their head. I'm like, oh my God. Like, and then Evan Rodriguez after the game commented on it. Like, I didn't expect that. We didn't know that was going to happen. I literally had shivers all over my body. So I was like thinking, can you imagine standing there? And yes, Florida, a lot of those guys did it last year where they were playing in the Cup Final. But for those Edmonton Oilers guys that is like, you know, have waited a long time, lot of tough times, and they get this moment and then they roll out this thing right at the start. It's like, holy shit. But I felt this. I felt the same as Rodriguez in his comments. I was like, oh my God, can you believe it? Like, standing there, you're just about to drop the puck, and there's Phil Pritchard, the keeper of the cup, with the white gloves on, bringing out Lord Stanley. I would have shit myself. I would have been like, I would have ran through.
Show, and it was like about Phil Pritchard, how long he's had the job, and all of a sudden the guy drops out a laundry bag of white gloves. He saved every fucking pair of gloves that he's presented the cup to. He's like, this is 94. There's just like old stains on the gloves. But it was pretty cool leading up. As you said, Army had no idea. Even the players had no idea. And RA, you mentioned that maybe some people reached out to you. They didn't like it. I would say the only people who have a legit gripe that maybe didn't like it are the players, because it's like, get that away from me. Yeah. I don't want to be near that thing yet. I know what I'm playing for. For fans, I thought it was incredible. And it totally, like, every fan that's watching it in the building, like, there it is. It definitely gets the excitement a little higher. So if anyone was upset about it, players and coaches, I can get down with. Fans, to see that thing in the building, to know that this is the beginning. And I don't think it'll be for Game 2 through hopefully 7 or whatever. I think just the first game, get it out there, and boom, here we go, guys. This is what it's all about. I thought it was awesome, and I had no expectation of it either.
Just going back to the game for a minute, Biz, I thought it was sort of like the inverse of Game 6 versus Dallas, you know, where Dallas got outplayed, but it was basically the opposite of that, except, you know, Edmonton come out in the shit end of it this time. But Bobrovsky, those breakaway saves, I mean, I think he had 5 of them. It seemed like they always were going to his left pad instead of trying to go upstairs on him, Biz. Did you catch that?
Yeah, so of course, I mean, the story of the game, RA, it was Bob, and I think that Connor even said it after the game. It's like, that's almost the hockey gods kind of giving one back for their Game 6 against the Dallas Stars. But going back to what you said, I mean, I guess roll it if you want here.
Do you feel like with the scoring that this team has, the power play that this team has, that getting goalied one game doesn't have to lead to more? This team has enough that just can't last?
Maybe it was the hockey gods getting us back for that game 6, where we probably didn't deserve to win. Tonight maybe we deserved, at least 1 goal or maybe 2 goals, and we don't find a way to get them. I know this group will stick with it, bounce back. That's what we take a lot of pride in doing, and we'll gear up for a big one on Monday.
Biz. So wait, couple things. So
did you see?
A couple things.
Are you talking? Are you gonna bring up the Band-Aid,
The
Chin?
goddamn Band-Aid.
The Band-Aid that he
The
put
beard
on.
aid. The
I don't
beard aid.
think- One, I don't think it was doing much, and as I said in the group chat,
was
I
on
think
his
I would
beard.
rather bleed to death than have had that thing hanging on my chin the whole game.
I said, this is a horrible look. Biz goes, I'd rather bleed to death than have that Band-Aid.
When Biz put that, I burst out laughing on the couch by myself.
It's like-
I was
it's
dying.
like- Tell my family I love them. No, not the Band-Aid. Tell my family I love them. And
No,
then
listen, this Band-Aid will save you. Like, no. I don't want the Band-Aid. Tell
Hey,
him I
the
love
beard is so big.
just amputate my head. Just
It
take
looked
it
like
off.
the Band-Aid was just on like a couple whiskers, like sitting this far. It was like an old cage that you wear in minor hockey that's like this far away.
It looked like a diaper. It looked like a face
Band-Aid.
diaper.
And the
Yeah,
Band-Aid
dude,
sort of
doing
matched the
nothing.
color of his beard, but it's like
So you're the Oilers guy. Whit.
Nothing.
Speaking of McDavid, and all right, we'll go back to your question about the getting goalied and going into game 1. But before game 1, he rolls in with the exact same suit as he did games 4, games 5, and games 6 of the last round. Does he continue the superstition much like Sid, or does he shift away from it now that they had this first game loss and they didn't score? What are they doing with the suit?
I think you have to go new suit. I think you rock something like that till you win a game, or till you lose a game, and then you go to a new one. And then if you win, you stay with the new one till you lose, and if you lose, you go back to Old Faithful. So I think he's got 2 suits the rest of this series. He's got a new suit game 2. Hopefully win game 2. He's got it for game 3. Hopefully they win game 3. And anytime they lose, they go back. And now maybe if they lose with this new suit, and he goes back to the old suit game 3 and they lose again, then you go to a third suit. But
And
at
you
that
burn
point,
it.
they could be
Then
down
you
3-0
burn it.
and the thing's over. Now,
But
funny
the
thing about
is,
that
though,
little
they played well with that suit.
Stanley
They
Cup
I know,
Final
but it's
suit.
all-
You need a Stanley Cup Final suit.
All right.
He's not going to be like Whit doing the analytics like in the locker room post game.
That's
Got
true.
He's going to be like, we lost. I need a new suit. But back to that little press conference. I don't know. Like there was that was Speck who asked him that question. Speck asked him another question. Like I'm going to mess up the wording. Something along the lines of like, can you play better and not win? Like, is it possible to play better than that and not win? Something like that was confusing. And Connor's like, what can I? He repeated. He's like, can we play better and not win? And he's like, yeah, Specs. Like, it's a little confusing. He's like, you're going to have to give me a couple minutes with that one. It was just, everyone reads Spec, though. Everyone reads Spec. So I think that the disgust from him was more about like, holy shit, we played great. And we just got this goaltender who, yes, on the breakaways, RA, they're going low. Apparently, before the series, it was made clear to the entire team, like, low, you don't beat him. Biz compared him to 2012 Jonathan Quick, who down low covered everything. On the ice, you ain't scoring. Even a little bit off the ice, you're not scoring. You got to go upstairs. Bob is now doing the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the problem, though. A bunch of those, like the Janmark breakaway, the Henrique breakaway, like there's great back pressure. So it's not as easy as it sounds to get it up. Like you got a guy throwing his stick at it. You have to do your best. I think they're trying to. It's just last minute. There's a guy right there.
I don't think they were like grade A, like they were really good chances for sure. But to your point with the pestering, like they were just trying to get shots off in that moment, even though they were seemed to be
one
in.
was probably the best one. That pass from Leon.
And boys, the reason that I compare it to 2012 Jonathan Quick is not only based on the style of play and how low Bobrovsky is and how good his skating is and his edge work, to where anytime the puck is moving around the paint, he's fucking dead in front of it. Like he's never not right on it. And he's so up close and challenging it where it is even hard to find room upstairs because it might look like there's room, but how close he is to the puck, like the angle
over top of it.
That's what Hank talked about. He's basically over top of it. And on top of that, kind of what you just said, Army, is their D are so good at tying up and or closing quick when they are getting in those areas. So you're forced to make the shot faster than maybe that you want. And then rarely are you getting those secondary opportunities. I want to say it was in the second period when they had that power play where the puck ended up popping down to Hyman's feet where it looked like he had a wide open net, and he got his stick tied up. So you do have to credit this back end for the Florida Panthers, who are much like the back end in 2012 that Jonathan Quick had, where they are just good in that blue paint. They tie you up well, they outmuscle you, and they don't allow for those second and third chances. So I guess my point would be, if you are going to get that one crack, try to go upstairs and fight even harder to get those second and third opportunities. Like, hey, listen, Edmonton is fast. They do have that speed. They also do have a bit of size. They got to start using that to their advantage to try to get more inside to win those battles. So I thought, and you mentioned Henrique as one of those guys with the breakaway. I thought he had a tremendous game. I love the fact that they didn't call that hit early on Oliver Ekman-Larsson. I thought they would have completely thrown the game off. If you're going to call that type of shit, it's going to make for a long fucking series. Let the boys figure it out themselves. So he was skating well. He looked like he looked a little bit faster than he had even during.
How much did the days off help him, you think?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's a big that's an injury where you're like 5 days. This is huge.
I was hoping it was going to help Evander Kane a little bit more, but other than that, him going after Bennett with that one hit, I thought he was maybe a little bit quiet again. So, Army, I don't know if you
him hitting Tkachuk going to the bench.
Oh yeah, he's trying to mix it up a little bit.
It looked like Tkachuk took a little bit of a dive. He grabbed his face and went down, and then Kane's looking around. Kane actually made a great play coming out of the zone at one point. I forget who he passed it to. They got a decent little chance off it. But in terms of the breakaways and like going low, they did try going higher. Nuge missed the net once with kind of an open net. It looked like Bobrovsky did a cartwheel.
Did that not hit Bob when he did that?
Miss? I missed.
I think it.
Oh,
I think
it
just
did
missed
miss
the net.
Okay.
Now
Bob's unreal.
Oh my God. Yeah, Biz, what you're saying is that he gets so close that even if you are going to go over his pad, it's going to go over the net because the angle is like there's no room to get over his pad and still hit the top of the net when you're in.
You can see why the numbers are what they are with him though, and watching him, like when he goes down, like I just picture, for example, let's just say Carey Price, who I played a year with, but he stays up really big. Like his shoulders stay up when he goes down. Like but he'll get out on top of it too with his gloves in his hands where he'll push out on that angle to cut down anything up top. When Bob goes down though, like that's why the numbers, when they showed that shot chart of him where he's getting beat, he's like a slinky. Like he goes really, really low with his shoulders, like in his body, but it is outwards to your point, Biz. So he is susceptible.
You got to remember
no question he's susceptible there, but it's Florida's D is doing that good of a job at limiting pretty good chances and then making it difficult on them in certain areas where Bob can be good.
So another thing too, Hank broke down was the fact that the paddle part of the goalie stick, his is lower and it's got this like weird, almost like different handle on it because he likes to attack with his blocker too. So that's why he's so low as he's crouched over. He actually has gear and his stick is closer to the ice for that reason. So I know we've talked a lot about Bob. Since we're on the Florida topic, I don't know if you had anything else more on Bob, Army.
No, I thought he made an unreal save. I think it was on Bouchard. It was through traffic, and he got it. He just, to your point with that blocker, whatever the camera angle they showed us on the replay, I was like, wow, that was a bigger blocker save than I thought to see it from that angle. I want to ask you guys a question about this. I saw a tweet yesterday, and it brings up a pretty good point just about the Oilers again. If we can go there, or do you want to stay on Florida?
Go ahead, and then we'll go back to
Go ahead.
Austin Hockey at A Hockey 1993. After 3 straight wins over Dallas, Chris Knobloch decides to reinsert Fogle into the lineup, put Nurse and Ceci back together, and then load up McDavid and Draisaitl in the third period to completely nullify his other 3 forward lines. What do you say about this?
Well, I think that
he comments. You can tell he's a rookie NHL coach.
So
that's his comment. But
First of all, I don't mind them in the third period putting those guys together to try to get a goal.
they always do that.
At that point, the CC and Nurse thing, a little bit weird. My understanding is they put Fogle back in because they were uncertain about Kane's health. So they still wanted that size in the lineup and speed, of course. Because I
thought he played well.
I thought he played great. I thought he was a great insertion. So I don't look too much into that. Obviously, we're going to get into Cody, Ceci, and Nurse being back together. And I was asked on the panel about like who I predicted in the series. And I said that I felt like the bottom pairing for the Edmonton Oilers was going to probably hurt them the most. People would maybe view Broberg and is it, what's the other guy's name? I'm drawing a blank on. They got in there.
Kulak.
But when Cody, Ceci, and Darnell Nurse are playing the way they're playing, they're easily the bottom pairing, and they are an anchor to this team. The first goal, I don't really want to blame just them for it because we can break it down. I thought there were 3 breakdowns. McDavid in the ozone, maybe not playing the 3-on-2 the best. And I thought that Skinner probably could have started his slide a little earlier, given Barkov was on his backhand. But that fucking second goal, that is just getting beat to the puck on the forecheck. Cody Ceci. Go stick on puck, put it back in the corner, live to fight another day. The fact that Bennett does get the stick on it and the center clear, Darnell Nurse is just straight-legged there and his stick's not on the ice. And you have to be so mentally dialed in every fucking second you're out there because every second matters so much in the Stanley Cup Final. That, to me, way too easy and a massive brain fart allowing that to get to Rodriguez. That is a gimme. They had the game in full control at that moment. I don't even care if they were down 1-0 with.
Yeah, so just to kind of go back to get there, we'll get into that second goal. The first shift of the game, Bob kind of whiffs on that, or maybe McDavid knocked it out of his stick, and you're like, oh my God, Hyman right in front. Like, who knows what happens if that goes in? Doesn't matter. Didn't go in. But right there, you're like, all right. And then that first shift, I think it was till like 18:50 left in the first. They dominated. They were flying around. It was McDavid's line. He looked great. Great chance. You're like, all right, what a start. And they kept it going, and it was completely fine. Then you get to 4 minutes in, and what happens? It looked like McDavid cheated a little. Cheat, maybe not the right word. Almost thinking Ekblad was going to lose the puck. Instead of saying above his man as the high guy, he just takes that one little step in. Ekblad made a great pass. He did.
Yeah, he did.
And you see what happens? I think when Barkov gets it, McDavid tight turns, and most of the time you see, all right, I'm going to catch him, buddy. You saw there Barkov.
Oh, yeah.
You saw his skating ability and how big he looks, and you don't see McDavid gaining ground. You're like, oh, boy. Now, to Nurse and Ceci, maybe this is the defenseman in me. I really cannot blame them for that goal because sometimes you got to tip your cap, and that is the perfect 3-on-2. Barkov over to Reinhart. You got to go over a little bit as your Nurse. Perfect sauce pass through him. Okay, that's fine. Ceci goes over to Barkov, and what does he do? Backhand snaps it across. Like, it's 3-on-2. You got an extra guy, and when you have 3 amazing players, that's what happens when it works out to perfection, and it did. I agree, Biz, because Barkov wasn't scoring from where he was. So if Skinner gets over a little bit quick, but I also think it almost helped Verhaeghe that he whiffed on it a little
just
bit.
Found a hole, though.
Yeah,
he just found a hole.
He didn't get a full wood on that, and it just kind of snuck through. That's just in the
so talking to a few of the experts, they said basically by the time that puck got there, he should have been hitting him right in the chest based on how he was challenging.
But I think if he got full wood on it, it would have hit him in the chest. You know what I mean?
100%. It was a whiff, and it seemed to find that 6 hole on him. And since we're already there, and I know that there's probably Florida Panthers fans, not only in the chat, but who are watching this right now, like double barrel. What do you want? You want to touch on something, Army?
Well, first of all, perfectly executed play to your point on that first goal. You know, Barkov slides over behind Nurse like perfectly, so Ceci has to travel that extra 5 feet.
Well, but
probably.
some people would argue in that situation, maybe just stay inside the dots.
Play it like a 2-on-1.
Yeah, Nurse gets outside, so there is opinion on that. But go ahead.
Yeah, so caught in between and executing and all that stuff. It was executed perfectly, really, in that situation for the Panthers. I got another stat for you. This is a stat I wanted to give. This is a stat I have here from Sportsnet Stats.
Am I going to like this stat or hate this stat?
You won't like this stat. It's a weird stat. I don't get it. Stuart Skinner allows a goal on his first shot on goal faced for the 11th time this season. 11 times. 7 in the regular season, 4 in the playoffs. 4.
Hey,
why?
Do you have
Skinner
numbers?
played good.
Do you have numbers on anybody else? Like is he leader in the clubhouse so far?
I don't have that stat. I didn't
Okay.
dig deep. I didn't go under the hood. But
seen
He
high,
had
though.
some big saves, dude. He made that huge save at the end of the
you
second
know what
period,
they
I
did?
think, on
They
Reinhart.
got 2 good chances, executed one, found a hole, first shot on goal, but okay. Second one, Nursey just sleeping a bit. CC gets kind of beat to a puck. It should not have got out front. It shouldn't have got there. Surprised
let me
everybody.
Get to the second one. Because now,
And they buried. That was a good chance on goal, though. That was maybe the best chance where he was free to bomb that one. No one else had a chance with a bomb like that in front, really, like that.
But which one?
The Rodriguez goal.
No, exactly. That's what they it seemed like 2 mistakes, 2
Two.
goals. But so forget that. So they go down 1-0. All right. You know what? Like I said, tip your cap. Awesome 3-on-2. McDavid's got to stay a little higher. Our game's fine. It's 1-0. Our game's fine. Then they continued to dominate. The response to the goal against was awesome. And before I forget, because Panthers fans are all over us, Oilers bias. I'm the only Oilers bias here. Sam Bennett, Jesus Christ. I think he had 10 hits with like 8 minutes to go in the game. He was just a force out there.
The menace,
Even
baby.
that sneaky little hit on McDavid on the offsides.
Oh.
So Sam Bennett deserves flowers. What a beast. Gets to him for the second goal. So we had a great response to the first goal. Down 1-0. That's right. We're going. All right. Well, we're going to get to that next period. And I love the start to the second. Now, what happens? Bennett chips the puck in. Okay. Now, as a defenseman, it's understandable that with his speed and CC having to pivot, he might beat you to the puck. Okay. That's where all CC has to do is stick on puck. He might get there first, but he's not getting it in front. If he takes it around, okay, I'll try to recover, but stick is right on that puck. He went in, he got beat to it, and then I don't know where his stick was, where Bennett makes this beautiful just like pass in front. At this point, okay, that's going right to Nurse, guys. Nurse,
buddy, it fucking was right there.
It wasn't. That's what I was saying. He wasn't even in a bad position, but he's standing there, stick in the air. That just makes zero
Casual.
Casual. And all of a sudden, it's like this puck where Bennett's making a good play to get it in front. He sees Rodriguez. He's probably thinking, all right, well, this is going to go to Nurse, but you never know. Well, the you never know happened because Nurse is standing there and he's just puck watching and he's puck watching without his stick on the ice. That thing, his stick's on the ice. He could easily hit it. Boom, it gets right by him. So after not having a beef with Nurse and CC on the first one, even though when they were back together and for the game, I'm like, why are they doing this? Now you're like, okay, now it's 2-0, and this one is directly on them. That one was directly on them because both breakdowns were just lack of concentration, lack of, as Biz said, realizing that every moment of these games could be make or break Stanley Cup raising
Way
decisions.
you nailed it. Like way too lackadaisical. And as a coach, that would infuriate me. That would drive me nuts. That's something that on that Calder Cup team that I always talk about in Manchester, that is something that Mike Stothers beat repeatedly into defenseman's head over the course of like the first 3 quarters of the season, to where these guys knew to do that type of stuff in their sleep. Have your stick on the ice in the D zone. There's no point in having it lateral at your waist. And in considering, like you said, like maybe Florida fans are a little frustrated about the lack of attention to their team. Listen, Edmonton was the better team in game 1, but we do have to stroke off a few guys. And we've mentioned Barkov time and time again on this podcast. I will go as far as saying he is the best overall forward in the world right now. Overall, all things considered, as far as offense, the way that he plays defensively, the way that he could play special teams, his leadership qualities, this is the best overall forward in the world. Did you guys see
play on Leon?
Did you see the play on Leon Draisaitl on the penalty kill?
Leon would look shocked. Like nobody's done that to me.
Bro, Leon had time and space away from him. He had to protect it from the puck, and Barkov's ability to close on him, take away the left side, and then all of a sudden Draisaitl tries to shift to the right. Nope, he closes that, and then just pushes him out of the zone, and boom, time to kill the penalty, and we're off the ice.
He was like Neo in the Matrix, when they're fighting and they're like key,
and it's like
down, but it's like he got on him. Then he gave him like 3 whacks on the arm, kind of like whack, and then stick lift, and then quickly close. Like his stick was in 8 different places in 1 second.
He
was
is
like
a
that
fucking mutant.
It was like that fruit slicer game you play
on
your
fruit
iPad.
Ninja.
Fruit Ninja.
He is so much.
The fruit ninja.
Get 4 in a row. It's like
he's getting 4 in a row.
Pineapples are raining down.
He was fruit ninja out there with his stick in that play, but that's why he's so good. Body positioning, size, smarts, angling, stick, and ability
He's
to like
so fast. I don't think he is so fast too. That's what's crazy to me.
And
he doesn't look it.
And going back to that first one, we kind of passed the blame around a little bit to like not only McDavid to the 3-on-2 and then maybe to Skinner, but like to me, it's got to be a learning lesson for McDavid if he is playing against him. I don't know why McDavid decides to cheat there in the O-zone. Do you think that he's trying to pounce on Ekblad because he thinks he's off balance and he can get that puck, or he's bobbling it? Because the minute that he cheats and gets off of Barkov's hip and tries to go cheat on that, Ekblad does a great job. He beats 2 guys with the 1 pass. Barkov picks that up, and he's gone. He is gone. He is the one guy in the world that's not only going to beat you defensively, but take that puck, go the full length, execute the backhand sauce over to Reinhart, take it back, and then deliver it to fucking Verswaggy backdoor. Like,
Biz,
you can't fuck around.
In the group chat, you said if you cheat against Barkov, he'll take your soul.
He'll every fucking time. So McDavid's going to have to learn how to not cheat. And we've seen it a few times throughout these playoffs. And I've talked to, great offensive players. I talked to Wayne about it. And, when you're an offensive minded player like McDavid, like your brain automatically goes there. Like you're smelling blood all the time, right? Or do sharks smell it, or do they see it?
Smell it.
They smell it.
Do they taste it? Smell it? He's
Smell
tasting
it,
it, smelling it, seeing it. He's doing all of it, right? You can't. You just simply can't really do that against guys like Barkov. And it's kind of crept into McDavid's game, where I think he has to realize that, especially this round, you're playing against a guy that you've never really had to go against for a 7-game series. I don't think that Connor McDavid has ever played a beast like Sasha Barkov, where he's going to have to go head to head.
Because he didn't play Kopitar in Kopitar's heyday. He's played
Kopitar
Kopitar 3 years in a row, but it wasn't 2012 and 14 Kopitar.
No.
And I think that's a very good comparison.
They
Kopitar
look exactly
10, 12
the
years
same.
ago.
Crazy.
So this is not say every single guy in this series wants this more than you can imagine. They want it more than any fan. This is their lifelong dreams. This is all they've thought about as kids. Everyone wants it. There's got to be an aspect, though, of McDavid being a 10-year-old prodigy that's going to been discussed for 20 years now almost as the next greatest player in the history of this sport. And knowing that, like, I am never going to live up to what I want and what everyone thinks until I get my Stanley Cup. You could tell last night he had one rush where he tried going end to end at the end of the power play, got nothing accomplished. He jumped in there on the first goal against, like, he wants this fucking thing so bad, where you got to take a step back. And this is way easier said than done. We're pigeons on here talking about this series, but wanting it that much can almost be a detriment to the final goal of actually accomplishing this. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
you nailed it.
Like you're just so fucking antsy, and you can't win it in game 1. It's like, it's hard to kind of describe what I'm trying to say.
No, I think you're bang on, because actually the first 2 power plays, I thought they were great on the power play.
I thought their power plays were good.
They did a good job of generating momentum, but you saw at the end of the first 2 power plays, he tried those individual efforts, and both times he did not succeed.
Like a minute and 50 seconds into it too. That was like right at the end where he was trying to give her
and then
like,
boom.
as Terrian would say, my turn. Look at him. Here we go. Power play. My turn. I'm gonna do it all.
My turn.
But But I did like how he had that look in his eye on that one rush where he did take it wide, where he wasn't looking past first. I think he needs to be a little bit more selfish and taking the puck to the blue paint where he's looking at that shot first mentality. So yeah,
beat
like
beat
Well, you
Ekblad
give him a
wide.
little
That was a
hitch
big
on
chance.
Ekblad. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then sure as shit at the last minute, I think Montour
Took
or
it to the
somebody
house, though.
forcing came over. So he couldn't cut in front of the whole net. It was just, it's the second effort by the Panthers, and that goes in biz. I like the power plays. I actually thought they snapped it around great, but I got to give Florida credit in that it looked like they were like, all right, we're going to pack the house. We understand they're going to snap it around, but so many Edmonton power play goals come off rebounds and chances, and from there they go to a guy who does a quick bang play like right around the crease. That's how they score a lot of goals. Madness and chaos off the rebounds. I think they said, all right, we're just packing it in down low. We're going to try to block every shot that we can, which they did, and we're not going to allow a rebound to then be like a bang play because we're all back here in the house. So you saw Edmonton get chances, but they didn't get like many second chances on those power plays.
It looked like a new look too, where Edmonton had made adjustments coming in, where Leon kind of went up top to that left point as opposed to being in that one-timer position near the goal line.
Why do they force it when it gets up to Bouchard on the power play? You've got who is it on the far side, and they never want to go to the weak side. They never want to go. He doesn't ever goes to Nuge. He rams it back down, and they're closing off that strong side.
They did it
wall
one time, Army, and Nuge came down and got a pretty good chance.
Yeah,
he dished it to Hyman, I think, down low. I know what you're saying though, where they
keep
overload that side and just release it over to Nuge.
And you know what they did awesome too, Florida, which I don't know if I've seen another team really do it to the precision that they did on their penalty kill. Leon gets it on the half wall. Connor set up down low by the net. Leon does that slinky little thing where he kind of walks in at that D-man, and then he gives it to Connor, picks that D-man going through. Well, the Florida Panthers, the net front D was standing there loose, and as soon as he touched it down to Connor, that's where like McDavid would get it and then walk as Leon pushes that D-man back. That's where now he gets around the horn going and he starts causing problems. That D-man in front of the net for Florida, bam, was right on him. And that play where he gets the tornado going, he couldn't get it going. He was pounced on right away. So
They had a great answer to that. At one point, Leon did it. Went to the net. They jumped McDavid. He did a give and go. It was a sick give and go.
Yep.
I remember Leon had a great chance. So they kind of like looked.
They're going to have to get in the lab.
There was a lot of back and forth on the special teams.
Yeah.
Edmonton's kill, by the way, I think it's now 30 in a row.
30.
Yep, 30 straight.
So that's a good sign.
Two more for a record.
What?
I thought 38 was the record.
I thought 32 was the record.
I think
33
38
beats
in
it.
regular season, maybe, or is it 30? I thought 32.
Jazz will have it. Jazz in the chat.
Jazz
He's
will
got to
have
be
it.
in the chat. Get to
So-
work, Jazz.
If I'm going to get to the scary part of this as an Oilers fan, you play great. That's awesome. You have a lot of good things that you can build on. That's all great. Now, I don't think the Panthers are going to play like that again. That's probably 12 forward, 6D, the weakest that they can play, and they still won. So now you're looking at it like, all right, well, we just got not a great effort from that team. The goaltender was out of his mind, but the rest of the team wasn't really there. And you know they're going to respond and be better in the next game. You just got to hope Bobrovsky can't do that again. Like, there's a chance he drops back a little. It's only natural. You can't be Jesus 2 games in a row, I don't think. But the rest of the lineup is going to step up. One of those pieces being Tkachuk. I thought he was quiet.
Yep.
And that's not going to, that ain't staying, that's not going to be the case for this series either. So now you look at it like the Oilers are going to have to maintain their level and hope that Bobrovsky slows down, because the Panthers are coming and they're going to be coming way better than they were last night.
Tkachuk's ice time
30.
too. I'm sorry. 1357. I think it was like 7th among forwards. I don't know if like Maurice was holding
Banged
back
up.
on or
I
what.
think he doesn't have great foot speed though. Like he's good in areas that he's really good at, and like he gets around, he throws a couple bee sting hits. There's no question. Like him and Bennett together are a problem, but I think the Oilers are fast, man. Like this is a
That's
fast.
I agree with you because, like, if you look at the opponents that they've had so far in playoffs for Florida, like Boston's not known for their speed. I would say that Tampa probably maybe the fastest of all the teams that they've faced, but still not like a team that you look. I mean, they're towards the back half with their core group, right? They're on the back nine. And then even in that conference finals, like the Rangers aren't really known for their speed either. So they're definitely meeting a new beast in the Edmonton Oilers. So going back to what your philosophy is, Whit, and the fact that you can't see another egg laid by the Panthers as far as their overall play, much like we saw in game one, maybe this speed is something that becomes overwhelming for them. And who knows, right? So
that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah. Ultimately, though, I agree with you. I think that we're going to see the team that we saw at least in the third period where they put the Anaconda chokehold. So getting that first goal and getting the lead for Edmonton is going to be massive in game two. The only other guys I had written down was Carter Verswaggy, and I mean, another game winner. I don't know what you have as far as stats on his clutchness. I know that he's had a shit ton of game winners, overtime winners. Like, do you have any numbers on that, RA? And if not, we could put Jazz back to work in the group chat.
Yeah, I get Jazz back to work. I did pull up. Bennett ended up with 11 hits. I knew you mentioned that 8 after 2. 11 hits. The next guy was Rico on Edmonton with 7 hits total, 57-32. Florida there. Also, this is the first ever Stanley Cup Final lead that Florida's ever had in franchise history. Just a little tidbit for you. I'll look up that Verswaggy stuff either. But
first, what? Sorry,
this first Stanley Cup Final lead ever for a series lead. They're up 1 game.
Oh, okay, cool.
They've never led the final before. Yeah. A little something for you there.
So they get swept in 96 and then lost 5 last. And so they were 1-8 coming in.
Yeah, lost 3 and then they won that game 4 and then it was back to Vegas for the biggest lock of the century.
How about I give you guys this? I just looked it up. Verhaeghe has 3 game winners a couple years ago in the playoffs. With Florida, he had 4 game-winning goals last playoffs, and right now he's got 3. And I know one of them was OT winner. I think it was against Tampa, right? And early in the playoffs.
I think he has more than one. Oh, he's got a couple OT winners.
Couple OTs.
Yeah,
he
had Game 7 against Boston last year.
He buried Boston.
Yeah. So he just, and what's crazy is, I don't know, the Tampa, it's hard to complain. Like Tampa had that guy. Right? Maybe they didn't see this. Maybe they had so many guys.
So did the Leafs.
I think it's different. Like he was younger with the Leafs. Like Tampa, I mean, this wasn't that long ago, right? Was he there in the bubble with the?
He was there
Tampa?
1920. He was there.
Yeah,
2019, 20.
Shout out to him though. He gets his chance, makes the most of it. I think playing with Barkov's an enormous part of this. But yeah, speed of Edmonton, and there are definitely people out there. You're talking about the Oilers a lot. Like the Oilers were the better team. The Panthers are unreal, and like we said, they're going to respond. But last night they had 2 breakdowns. They took advantage of both, and they had their goalie steal a win. That's how it's supposed to be done. When you win the Stanley Cup, not every night is your entire roster going to be going. You got to have guys save you here and there. Most importantly, the goalie. Last night, there's more things to talk about on Edmonton's game. Florida will be better.
Absolutely. And game 2, of course, Monday night. And we are going to be doing another live stream. So everybody make sure you join in and watch the game along with us and our goofy commentary. And also we are going to Edmonton. We're going to be going up this week for games 3 and 4. Thursday, June 13th from 3 to 5. We are going to be at the Canadian Ice House right next to Rogers Place, the Moss Pit, for a little meet and greet. So come by before game 3. Up at Edmonton's going to be an electric atmosphere. So, boys, I think it's about time we got to send it over to our friends in the advertising community right now. All right, gang, before we go any further, here's a few words from our friends over at Game Time. What's up, everybody? Did you know you could see Hootie and the Blowfish at Fenway for under $100 this summer? Unbelievable deal there in a few weeks, man. $70 to go see Hootie. Only Want to Be With You, Hold Your Hand. All those great tunes. I saw him down in Carolina last year. Still puts on an awesome show. Of course, if you're going to go, you got to use Game Time. That's right. Thanks to Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. You don't have to worry when you buy tickets to your next big event because Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets to all the sports, music, comedy, and theater events, and whatever else might be going on near you. They got flash deals for sudden discounts, zone deals for when you're feeling a little flexible, and that lowest price guarantee, which means that if you could find the same seats for less anywhere else, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Game Time is the best place for last-minute seats, with up to 60% off your favorite events. What are you waiting for? Gonna buy those Hootie tickets right about now? Jump all over that, so take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code Chiclets for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download the Game Time app today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. All right, boys. We've had quite a share of viral moments so far these playoffs, no doubt. Bobrovsky save a couple rounds ago, the McDavid goal, but I think the biggest one might have been off the ice. Clip's gone viral. People have been talking about it all weekend, and we were able to track this person down, believe it or not. The most mysterious woman in hockey. The whole world's been looking for it, and we are going to bring it to you right now from Spittin Chiclets, our friend in Edmonton. Gee, why don't you bring Kate on for us?
Get the fuck out of here. You got to be kidding me.
We found her? We got her, buddy. Of course, biggest fucking scoop out there. What's up, girl? How are you doing?
Oh, good. How are you guys?
Good. Come on. I know they lost last night, but you got to show.
How nervous are you right now?
Those are big sunglasses.
Jose Canseco.
Yeah. Still trying to be in the witness relocation program a little bit here.
Are you dating RA?
No, God. No.
God,
I don't even know him. He might not even be real for all I know.
RA is
saying the same thing about you.
real. We were worried
Yeah,
about
my tips
you.
anyway.
Now, if you are single, what about tickets to an Edmonton Oilers game? We could put you in a box, maybe game 4. Definitely dinner with RA, but of course, it being you have to get engaged to him, and we'll do maybe the wedding out by the Moss Pit. Should we get him married by the Moss Pit, Whitney? What do you think?
I got to do some legal stuff first before I get married.
Is it a wedding official?
I can't. I'm not into polygamy over here.
Oh boy.
So we need to hear. You're at the game. All of a sudden, the tits are coming out. Did anyone tell you to do it, or was that just a feeling of emotion as the Oilers scored?
You know what? I don't know. The handful of cheesies I ate all day and the 8 Trulies I drank in the first period, it was definitely inspiring.
I'm going to be honest. You don't look exactly like the girl in the video. Like
I know, Biz. I said the same thing.
I'm getting.
I don't know if we're getting catfished here.
I'm getting catfish vibes right now. RA, are you sure this is the same woman?
Yeah, I bet $1 million if it's her. Yeah, unless she. I mean, if this is the most elaborate best catfish ever, I don't know what the end game would be.
Okay,
there she is.
There she is.
Now I see it a little bit.
Now
I was
I
going to
see
say
it.
there might
All right,
only be one other way to prove it.
Suck on that,
I'm
Biz.
not saying that.
So now I guess let's go back to when your viral moment. What made you whip out your tits? Was it a goal? Was it even at a live game? From my understanding, it might have been a viewing party.
Yeah, no, it was at a live game.
Okay. All right.
Like, oh, she does that at a viewing party. What would she do at a game?
Yeah, that'd be scary. No, it was definitely at the game. I don't know. We were just all like going crazy. It wasn't like planned or anything, and yeah, it just kind of happened.
And you had your wits about you, obviously. I mean, you had the little smile after, which I thought was like pretty cute, kind of like gave a little smile thing. In other words, if you were like slosh falling over, people are like, "Oh, that's tough." But I think the fact you had to throw a smile at the camera after, it was kind of like, okay, you had your wits about you. You did it on your own volition, and I think that made it kind of fun and maybe a little dash wholesome too, if you could say that word.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
it's been a long couple.
Yo. What's it
when
been
did
like?
You first see it going viral? Like, do you know who posted it? Was it one of your friends? Was it a random account? Like, you must have been like, oh, shit.
It was like that night, and I was on Twitter, and it was some Jerry, maybe. I don't know. I can't even remember now. And I got it removed. I reported it, and I was like, okay, it's gone. We dealt with this. And then Friday night, it came back with a vengeance. Like, yeah.
Well,
yeah, that's forever.
So it wasn't someone you were with that posted it? It was just like someone caught
that
by
it was
chance?
not someone I was with.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you sure this is her?
I don't know. I'm still questioning it now. Are they real? I think that's one other question that a lot of people had. Is that a rude question to ask?
No, they are not real.
Okay. And from my understanding, you work at the rigs up north, and that's maybe why you had bad service originally with RA?
Yeah, I do work in the oil field, yeah.
Okay, cool. So
Fort Mac.
Not Fort Mac.
Okay.
Is everybody at your work now aware that you're the person that's gone viral and this has all happened, or are these guys like off the grid, have no idea what's going on?
People definitely know. There's internet up here.
Okay. Because it's not very common for a lot of women to work up at the oil fields, right? It's a very low.
There's like a decent amount. I wouldn't say like it's super crazy popular, but yeah, there's girls out there. I've only had one actual person. He called me the tit talk girl, but
tit talk. I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
Only people who I've actually known have like actively asked about it. Only one person has said something.
Now, do you take pride? Are you happy that a lot of people are saying you could lead Edmonton to the cup? Like, it's almost like this seems like something that Edmonton could really grab a hold of, no pun intended, and ride all the way till they lift Lord Stanley.
Honestly, last night when they lost the game, I was like going to get in my truck and just like drive to the bush and like build a little shack out of fucking sticks and live in it after seeing everyone was like, we need her. And I was like, I don't understand how they need me, but I can't be this person.
I know.
But apparently I made myself this person and now I don't know what to do about it.
If you had the opportunity to go into their locker room on the road game 2 in order to get the boys hyped up, who would you say something to and how would you address the team?
Oh God, I am in like no position to be motivationally speaking to anybody. Like, I don't know. Did they like tequila shots? Like,
that could get them a little bit looser. I felt that they were a little tight gripping their sticks, and I think a little bit of tequila and tits would definitely loosen them up in order to score some goals going upstairs on Bobrovsky. Now, who is your favorite Edmonton Oiler? Like, how long have you been a fan of the team? Do you have guys in the past that you love, or who are your favorite current players?
Well, are you an only child?
No, I have a sister, Natalie.
Oh, okay. Well, did your mom pick a favorite?
Wow.
Yeah. I think she probably likes Natalie a lot more. Yeah.
Okay. Well, basically, like right now, people are calling me like the Edmonton Oilers mommy, and I don't think it's really fair for me to pick a favorite.
Wow. Okay, that's a great answer.
Wow.
As long as none of them are breastfeeding.
Are you like? Are you a diehard? Sorry.
Go ahead, Whit. What'd
are
you say?
Go ahead, Whit.
No, nothing.
Go ahead.
I was gonna ask, are you a diehard Oilers fan? Like, are you like a huge fan, or are you casual, or are you just from the area?
Casual more so. Like, I had to work last night, so I didn't get to see the game. Like, I'll watch a game if I'm there and available, but I can't go out of my way. I've got to pay bills and shit.
Yeah.
Hey,
will you be at games 3 or 4?
I don't have tickets to game 3 or 4. Like, I mean, the possibility.
All right.
Oh yeah. Oh no. If you don't get called for work, you'll be there with us. If you don't end up getting called for work, we'll take care. But Kate, were you surprised?
Tied up with RA.
You were able to keep this such a secret all week, given like the internet usually always tracks everybody down, and they weren't able to, and we were able to save you till today.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, it was odd.
That's a Darnell Nurse answer.
The internet finds everyone, and nobody could find you.
There were definitely people tagging me, and then people were posting photos of me, and then one guy's like, "That's not even her. That girl's high on meth," and I'm like, "That's good."
Okay, you and RA would definitely have a great time if that's the case. I actually think this is a match made in heaven.
I don't know why they think that I look like I'm on meth in the picture. I thought I looked decent, but
yeah.
So we could try for the first time, I guess. Then not together. No, I'm joking.
Sure.
Oh my God!
Right after we get married in the dumpster.
Yeah. No Breaking Bad humor. No, but it was shocking though that no media outlets were able to track you down. But well, either way, Kate, I'll be in touch with you later. And if you're around this week, we'll definitely get you to one of these games. Boys, did you have any final thoughts or questions you wanted for our friend up in Edmonton here?
No, but if we're down 0-2 and you're at game 3 with Edmonton, you know what has to be done, and it's great meeting you.
Dale, you plan that for me.
Yeah,
right.
And I got one last one. I know that you've been offered some pretty crazy offers. Like, what's the craziest offer you've been offered from I heard porn sites were reaching out to make
Yeah,
it 6 figures.
so I haven't actually talked to anyone besides RA. Like all these porn people, I'm like, fuck these guys. RA's the man. I don't know what they're actually offering me because I haven't talked to them. Like, I've just seen the same news articles you guys have, and I'm definitely not interested in doing porn.
Good.
yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, we do have an offer for you, and it's to come hang out, come enjoy a hockey game, and come to the Pink Whitney event at the Ice House attached to Rogers Arena in Edmonton. We're going to be around. I think we're getting there on Tuesday. We will be leaving on Sunday. So like we said, anything, carte blanche, whatever you want. You're our friend and RA's new wife. So you're more than welcome to join us.
Hey,
okay,
we'll even pay for the wedding.
I can see with work what this week's supposed to be like, and I'll touch base with RA and let him know for sure. But it sounds like definitely an interesting opportunity.
Hey, screw the porn things. What about a Pink Whitney? What about a Pink Whitney thing?
Collab.
Have you ever had Pink Whitney?
I have had Pink Whitney.
All right.
Back in the old COVID days.
Hey, Biz, I did.
That's what it really took off.
That's what it was really going down.
It really did see the next
drinking
variant.
away your sorrows.
Well,
Biz, I did reach out to. Sorry, Biz. I did reach out to one of those companies on her behalf, like the one that was supposedly offering $100,000. And I was like, "Hi, I'm reaching out on behalf of my client. A recent article from a famous celebrity gossip site stated your company was interested in contacting her from work. Please reach out." And then got the generic. Your request ticket has been received and is being reviewed by our support staff. I still haven't heard back from them, so fucking their loss either way. So yeah, but I did reach out to a couple of those shady places to try to see what they might have been offering.
So when the glasses were on, I'm like,
RA's trying to get a cut of the deal.
This
He's
isn't
going to act
her.
as her agent.
Yeah. I was like, this isn't her. Glasses off a little more so. I'm not 100% certain
Me neither.
that was her. Though.
What's the chat think? My wheels were spinning.
People were saying Fugazi in the chat. Trust me, I was monitoring.
There was no chance. There was
Boys,
no
I'm
chance.
watching this video again that they sent over, and RA, I still don't believe it. I think that we're being catfished.
But she was like, if you're getting catfished, I feel like she would be like more energetic and like knowing she's fucking with us.
Yeah, what would be the end game?
Like, yeah, I'll come on and talk about it. But just a different look. Maybe at the game though, she had a ton of makeup on, right? Like it looks.
And her hair was straighter.
Morning.
We should have asked to for the real proof, and that was to see the.
I mentioned that, but I said I didn't want to ask, so I'm not going to ask that. But there is one way you could prove it.
Yeah, Bree would love that. Eh?
And it is Sunday morning in Edmonton too, and she did work last night, so
she does seem overwhelmed by the popularity that she's garnered from her.
Yeah, here's what's interesting. Like she said, it wasn't planned, but the guy who was videoing her and posted that video had his phone right on her, opposed to the ice where the celebration was. So like, why would he have been filming this random girl? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know.
Man,
there's some. There she is.
There
you know what I'm saying?
Was I gone?
Why was that guy? If the guy that put it up there, you didn't know, why was he sitting there filming you if he didn't think or know you were going to lift up your tarp?
Everybody's like filming the crowd and like,
okay,
you can see the person next to me who like almost falls over into like
they were filming. Yeah,
that's my good friend who was with me, and she was like also taping the crowd. Like everybody was like Snapchatting like how crazy everyone was going. Sorry, I'm trying not to swear here. I don't know if you guys
are. No, you can swear on this
show.
Oh, you can do whatever you want on this show, sweetheart.
Oh, good.
Well, no, I thought we had dropped you there for a second. Kate, listen, thanks so much for coming on. The world finally gets to meet you, and this won't be the last time they're going to see you, I'm sure. We appreciate you coming on extremely so much, and we'll probably see you at a little meet and greet if you don't get called up to Alaska or Fort McMurray or wherever they might send you.
RA's smitten right now. I've never seen him this polite.
Blushing.
Now,
blushing.
I know it's rude to ask, but how old are you? I just want to know for the age gap. RA's kind of in the 28-year-old range right now, but that could change.
I'm a little old for him, and I'll be 35 in August.
RA, that's a good age gap. RA, I like where this is going. Are you single?
That's
a yes.
Yeah. It's complicated. It's complicated for both of us, I guess.
I smell a wife swap. I smell a wife swap.
Oh, shit. Oh, that would be hilarious. But, hey, Kate, enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy game 2 tomorrow night, and we will definitely catch up and have a few pops up at Edmonton if you don't get called to work this week.
Sure. Thank you guys for having me.
We love you, Kate. You're the best.
Take care.
What a Western leaguer. What a Western leaguer, boys. Right there.
Very nice woman.
Awesome.
Exactly. Yeah. And like I said,
that's what the Oilers can do. You could tell she was almost a little uncomfortable. I can't believe this has happened. What's this moment's turned into? But you go to an Oilers game in the playoffs and the emotions take over and you got no control over anything. That's what happens up in Alberta.
Yeah, I mean, it's just boobs at the end of the day. Nobody's going to get hurt, And I was wicked surprised.
You better be careful here. Your heart could get hurt already because we know you're falling hard for this one.
Oh, no, there's like 17 layers of armor around it.
From a feelings perspective, like, listen, I fell in love with her too when I saw the online video. Where are you at on like falling for her from like a 1 to 10 perspective?
He seems very protective of her as well. Like he's got this protective.
Well, he's texted our group 15 times. Don't say anything, guys. Don't say anything. All right, we know. We will not do anything to ruin your moment with Tits McGee.
Well, how likely is it you meet somebody else who smokes crack too? So it's like really all coming together.
Wow, fucking ricochet shot on her. Jesus Christ. By the way, I still haven't smoked crack.
Very protective of her, see?
Yeah, well, I mean, like she said, I'm the only one she's like talked to about this. It is weird. Like we would joke around, like calling her, me her agent and shit. Obviously, we're having a laugh. But for the last week, we've been texting, man. I think I've probably been texting with her, and not like flirty, like high school, like googly eye shit. Just like all like what she wants to do for next move. And I probably texted with her more than everybody else on my phone combined for the last week. Just like try to, I don't know, figure out what her next move wants to be about getting her on the show. And even when they lost last night, she was like, "Oh, I don't know." It's like I'm like, listen, the result of the game has nothing to do with you. Like I was like, don't listen to these idiots on because the assholes online was.
Wow, this is unbelievable. The chat I'm looking at same hand tattoos.
Dr. Rear.
Tattoo. That was her.
Exactly. Bingo.
That's why we need the chat.
Exactly. And also, what would be the end game of catfishing? If, like, you know what I mean? Like, what would be the point at this point if you cut?
I thought Foley might pop out of that car.
Yeah, exactly.
Told you.
Foley with a red wig on. If you would have asked me $10,000, yes or no, I would have said as soon as she signed on that was a fake. So the fact that it is her, looking forward to seeing her live in the flesh, and who knows, maybe she has enough pink Whitney nips where we get to see hers.
Hey, that's crazy though.
Smitten. I love it.
Oh, he is. He's bumbling around. He's just so protective. But it's crazy though. Hey, like one little, like she's smiling after she does it. She's with her girlfriends, and like she just gets caught up and does this crazy thing. And then she's just like she's just working her job, but she's like seems like she's in complete, like she doesn't understand what's happening.
Army, are you smoking crack?
No, but it's like it's crazy.
Holy fuck! Say crazy one more time.
Well, how about
she's in her truck in the bush somewhere hiding out? Like
I know.
I got a kick out of
spit out the crack pipe.
Her saying, I reported it to Twitter. It's like, yeah, that ain't going anywhere, baby.
Yeah, Elon just retweeted it.
You gotta report that thing directly to Elon when he's got his security guards hiding him from RA, and that thing ain't going off the internet.
Yeah, exactly. I'm putting 6 loads of my belly button to your jammers online, lady. That ain't going. It's already on every site you can imagine. No scrub on that one.
Yeah, you can see. Right,
I got a better chance of scrubbing this tattoo off my arm with a bar of soap. But boys, wow. Okay, unexpected turn of events. Shout out to the chat for doing all the detective work. And was there anything else that we needed to touch on this pod?
Yeah, a few other notes.
A couple announcements from Bettman.
Yeah, and we'll get to actually. Wait, I want to give congrats to your neighbor now, a Salty guy, Chris Rooney, one of the 4 refs selected to work the Stanley Cup Final. He's a local guy. We want to give him some props. It's his 7th time doing the Stanley Cup Final, 3rd in a row. I couldn't believe it when I looked it up. 22nd season for Rooney. Can you believe he's been a ref for 22 friggin' years, man?
Oh, what a move by him. He does a great job. He's got games 2, 4, and 6, and he's the standby ref in case of injury for game 3. So probably run into him in Edmonton. He lives right behind me here. And he's done an awesome job. And over the course of his career, he's just kind of climbed the ladder to becoming a top official. I texted him actually asking, because I hadn't seen Wes McCauley. I was like, what's going on? Where's Wes? He's a top guy too. I guess he tore his hamstring in the first round. Yeah. So he's out injured, which sucks for him.
Sucks.
And the other
I like Steve Kazari. He's awesome.
Yeah, and he was the guy who got knocked out in that late
Pittsburgh.
game.
In Pittsburgh here. Yeah, he got knocked out, but he reffed me in junior coming up, and to see him reffing as well. He's been on some great videos so far.
No shit, Army, when he was reffing us. He used to snap on guys if you talk back.
But he was so calm too in a weird way. It was like he's a beauty.
Little interesting tidbit on officials getting paid. Officials get paid per round in the postseason. Referees earn $27,000. Linesmen get $17,250. Standby ref gets $1,000 for being on call with an increase to $27.50 if they get into the game. Linesman gets 650 being on call, which bumps up to 1775 if they take the ice. And I mean, the other two referees in the final, Jean Hebert and Dan O'Rourke. And how about this? Dan O'Rourke's son, Austin, he just reffed the Kelly Cup final down on the coast. That Florida Everglades won the third Kelly Cup in a row. But that's pretty wild to have one dude in the Stanley Cup and one down in the East Coast League. Pretty good stuff.
And Paul Maurice's son is doing the play-by-play for that team, I guess. So he now has 3 rings.
Get out of here, actually.
It's that's an ECHL record.
Maurice was doing an interview with a local Panthers reporter or the Panthers, reporter for their website and on social media. And he was talking about how he's so much more open and talking and making different quotes and kind of just not beat around the bush in his press conferences. And he talked about that, one, he's older now. He really doesn't give a fuck. I think I could kind of paraphrase that into. And the second was knowing his son's in that world of asking coaches questions. He looked at it like if I saw my son ask a coach a question and he kind of just pigeon tossed him and was rude, it would drive him nuts. Knowing he's probably done that before, he's like, I think just my son being in this game now has changed how I'm approaching people just trying to do their job. So his son got another a ring as a worker. What was the team?
Yep.
Sorry,
Florida Everblades.
So good for them. 3 in a row. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, Bradley Perala, who's on our chat and watches game notes, he tweeted yesterday, Florida, the state of hockey. It's crazy what's going on in Florida with hockey right now.
Yeah, good call. All right, boys, we got a few more notes we'll get to in a second, but here's a word from our sponsor first. All right, folks, before we go any further, here's a few words from our friends at Kraken. Today, we're talking about Kraken, one of the OG crypto platforms. These guys have been around way longer than the hockey team, for over a decade, in fact. And Kraken's world-class security is like having an all-star goalie protecting your assets 24/7. It gives you peace of mind when it comes to trading. With over 190 cryptocurrencies available, there's something for everyone here. Or maybe you're looking for new ways to approach your strategy in crypto. The Kraken Learn Center is an awesome educational resource for all experience levels. So join the 10 million plus clients already using Kraken's intuitive platform to buy crypto. Go to kraken.com/chiclets and see what crypto can be. Not investment advice. Crypto trading involves risk of loss. All right, boys, I don't know if you saw this Jaromir Jagr note. Except for 2022, Jaromir Jagr or one of his teammates has been in every single Stanley Cup final since 1980. Absolutely wild. Barkov the last 2 years, an old teammate of his.
I think for 19, was it the stat 19 years in a row that a member of the 2003 draft has been in the Stanley Cup finals? Is that true?
What? I'm not sure.
That crazy draft that we had. I thought that there was representation from that draft in every Stanley Cup finals for 19 years.
Wow.
That was my,
I bet.
Yeah. I'll have to dig it up. Maybe it's a botch stat, but maybe I'll get a text from our boy Jazzy Boy. What else do we have?
I think I could do it right now. Carolina, Edmonton had Stahl. The next year, Ottawa and Anaheim had Perry and Getzlaf. The next year would have been, who was 07 or 08? No, then that was Pittsburgh, Fleury. Pittsburgh again the next year, Fleury. 2010, Blackhawks, Seabrook. Right? Seabrook was that draft, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah. Wow. Keep going with it.
It's unreal. It's like Frank the Tank.
Bruin, Canucks, Kessler. I think Kessler was that draft.
He might have been a second rounder. I'll look that up.
No, but it had to be first round?
No.
Bergeron, too. Bergeron was in that draft.
Yeah, Bergeron was the second rounder that year.
So then you go 2012, Kings, Brown. Was Dustin Brown that draft?
Yeah, Dustin Brown was. Yeah, he was a late birthday.
13, you go Hawks, Bruins. So you got a bunch of them again. Bergeron. Yeah, I bet you it is. You just keep 14 back to the Kings with Brown, 15 back to the Hawks with Seabrook. 16 would be the Penguins 2 years in a row. So you got Fleury. 18, you got Capitals. Who was on the Capitals? They had
Vegas.
The guys from the what?
Who was it? Caps Vegas. That was Vegas's first year. Who
don't know who on the Caps would have been in.
What was William Carson that draft? Possibly. No. He's old.
The chat will figure it out, but keep going to the. If you get this, dude, that's remarkable.
Well, then 19.
Fleury, Caps.
Fleury
again.
19 Bruins. You got Bergeron. 20, you got Tampa and what was that? Tampa Dallas in that final, in the COVID final. So you got Tampa Dallas. Perry.
Dallas.
So it's like 7 guys basically.
Yeah.
21. Who was that? What final was that?
Tampa
again against Colorado, right? Or they?
No, Tampa.
Montreal, right?
Yeah, they played Dallas and
Tampa,
Montreal those 2
so
years.
Perry again.
Shea Weber.
Perry. No, Shea Weber.
Shea Weber.
22, you had Tampa, Colorado. So you just go back to was Perry in that one?
Perry.
Yeah.
5 teams, man. That's insane.
2023. You got
Who's
last
that?
year,
Last
Colorado.
year, Florida.
Eric
Vegas,
Stahl
Florida.
played last year for Florida,
Stahl.
did he not?
Yeah.
Wow.
There you go.
Jesus Christ.
Wow,
Good
great job, Whitney. What
Fucking
a job
Frank the
by
Tank.
you.
But basically,
man.
it was like 10 people, I think.
Yeah, same guys.
Same 10 guys.
Same recycled guys, but still remarkable. One of the greatest drafts of all time. And seems like we're going to be losing another one to retirement. It seems like Joe Pavelski, he hasn't 100% fully committed RA, but he did say that it's likely that he's not returning.
Yeah, he all but officially announced it, and I kind of alluded to it at the beginning of the playoffs. Like, you know, someone kind of threw the bug on me, but that wasn't my time to my thing to do it, because I did it with Rick Nash before, and I felt like an asshole. Thankfully, no one really picked up the story, but I realized that wasn't my thing to do. So like, I was like, I ain't putting that out there. Joe Pavelski retires, then he deserves to say.
That's
it,
like
so.
RA, like doing like gender reveals, like blowing it, like telling people that someone's pregnant.
It's purple.
Doesn't even get the right
What's
text.
purple mean?
Just ruining everything.
Blue
He does
pink,
gray.
goes purple.
He does gray, so he knows he can be right. It could be both.
Yeah.
Um,
And then he wants credit for it once it comes out.
I
And if he doesn't
fucking love
get
it.
it, he's gonna
I
bitch
love
about
it.
it.
Like his real name though, not RA.
Pavelski, man,
I'll say it.
the game ain't fair. The game is the game. And that's a guy that I think forever will be thought of with Iginla and Joe Thornton. It should have got one.
Yep.
Deserved one. That's how difficult it is to win. What a team sport. He was on some great teams, and there was always just kind of one team better a lot of his years. But what a career. 7th round pick. Got the national title at Wisconsin, which was nice, and then had this incredible run of success and goal scoring with low expectations after his draft status and where he was picked. And he just kept getting better and better. I think Elliot Friedman was the one who mentioned that when prospects were coming into Dallas's like rookie summer camp, the guy, the Jim Nill or whoever would ask him like, "Hey, are you ready to outwork and win a battle against Joe Pavelski? Like, he's 38 years old, 37 years old. Can you beat him in a battle for a puck?" And that's just the kind of guy that a GM's looking at as the pulse of our team. And he did it forever. And it's just, you know what? He's going to have one hell of a career post-hockey, because he could probably do whatever he wants to do. He's got plenty of money, one of the best golfers out there. He'll be playing in all these awesome tournaments. I think his son is right around Cruz's age, Army, maybe a little younger.
2010, Cruz plays against him. Yep.
So now I think Army texted the chat, "Welcome to the psychotic hockey fatherhood."
Oh, yeah.
that
He'll be in
runs
there.
his- Yeah,
Buddy, to start the year, I saw him in Cleveland. Like, the camp started in 4 days. He was behind the bench coaching his kid in Cleveland. I was like, holy shit, what are you doing here?
That was quick.
Yeah.
Just quick little note. I know the Posha Trouba stuff. Anybody waiting for that? It was addressed on Game Notes the other day. So if you wanted to get up to speed on that, you could check out the last Game Notes episode.
Yeah,
from
hey,
the other day.
I want to follow
All
up
I
on
will
this.
say is that Trouba should just sucker Posha if he ever sees him. His response, though, was Billy Madison giving that long speech, and then the guy being like, "I have no clue what you just said. Nobody has any clue what you just said." That made no sense to me. That's what I'll leave it at.
That's fair.
His
But
response made no
I
sense
guess
to me.
so. Originally, it was said on Game Notes, so we never really had a chance to rebuttal. Some people were like, "Oh, you guys posted it online. You had 2 days to comment on it." First of all, I'm not revolving my schedule on what Pasha's spouting off about with his jock sniffing ass on Game Notes, and I'm not making it my schedule when I just finished being away from home for 2 months. I came home and I had shit to do. I'm sorry. But at the end of the day, if he wants to come on and say ridiculous shit, we're gonna call each other out. This is a platform where we allow each other to share our opinions. Some of you fans might be like, "Why is Pasha hop?" Well, he's our buddy. He works for us. He loves hockey. He is a jock sniffing fan. And when he makes ridiculous comments, well, at least some of them we're gonna call him out on him. We keep each
And
other
then we
honest
want you
around
guys
here.
to get him. Just go
And then
get
we-
him.
And then we let the chat roast him. And some of the chat was defending him where they're like, tell me what Posha has said wrong. Listen, that's the beauty of all this. You can have an opinion, but my opinion is I don't know if I want to be getting into it on Twitter with NHL captains because my videographer spouting off, bringing up charity work and being a devil's jock sniffer. That's just not the business I want to be in. I don't want to be talking to people from the league about it on my days off. And that's my opinion on it. So if
were you getting calls from the league?
Really?
No, I think that listen, were there people at the league that were not happy that an NHL captain is having to fucking go online and maybe, and listen, here's another thing too. Trouba bringing up the mental health stuff, like his charity was brought up by Posha. So maybe he made it clear, this is my outlet. I do these paintings and I raise money for these reasons. So I can understand why he directed traffic there. And it's like, hey, if you want to use my name to garner clicks based on your take, Posha, I'm going to direct a little of positivity and attention to my charity, which raises money. So once again, that's my opinion on Trouba's post. Was it a little bit of a left turn on what the subject was at hand? Yes. But
is his charity involving suicide?
I think I think what it does is it involves mental health, and he sells those painting in order to raise money for it. So great job by Trouba. And I didn't think that if you didn't like his play and how he's trying to elbow guys and injure guys, fine. Bringing up the charity, I don't know if that was the right thing to do. And the fact that
Pasha, when he brought up the wife, even though he didn't say anything bad about her and brought up the charity, he could have just carved this play and left it.
Yeah,
left it there. That's all that needed to be said. And another thing
Pasha's
too is
insane. He's an insane
and he could have cut the video. If he cut it, he could have cut the video with like me, G, and Merle's like pushing back on him also. Which
they made they made Merle's.
We're sitting there
watching Rodney Dangerfield.
And here's another one. And here's another one for Posha and all you people were like, oh, he didn't say anything wrong. How about he cuts that clip, and then the next podcast we tell him he's a fucking idiot, and then it never gets cut. And it never sees the light of day. It's like, are we going to get the fucking professional's opinion on this? Or are we just going to get
power of editing, Biz? He's got that power of editing, this fucking crazy motherfucker.
He's good at it.
So listen, we love Posha, and he's a ride or die, and he will never not be a part of Spittin Chiclets. But when you fuck up like that and you do dumb shit here, we bring you to the kangaroo court and you get roasted. Is he coming on? Oh, I thought that was
no. We do have for any time Pasha comes on moving forward, we do have a devil's disclaimer. So anytime he comes on, it is
like a warning.
It's like
warning. You should see it.
Play it.
Warning: the following statements are about to be made by a deranged Devils fan. The views expressed are his and his only. Take everything you hear with a grain of salt because, remember, he is a deranged Devils fan.
Hey, and here's another derangement thing. How about that avatar? You're not that good looking, Pasha. Your nose isn't that straight and nice. It looks like
go back to that. I want to see the hairline.
It looks
and
like
I got a bad hairline. Go back to it. Go back.
Warning: the following statements are about to be made by a deranged Devils fan. The views.
No. That's bullshit. That hairline.
It has a little bit of a 2-car garage.
He's got the widow's peak up here.
He had
got a
beautiful,
nose like this.
Nice small forehead in that.
AI
perfectly
Pasha.
manicured beard. Get the fuck out of here, Pasha. You're not Fabio, buddy.
Wow.
Come on.
Hey, we got a Players Association biz. They got to crack some champagne today. Ding dong, the escrow's dead. The wicked escrow's dead. It's been a long fucking time. You finally get it all paid off, $6 billion or whatever it was. Done.
Not only that, already they might get a little top off.
A little top.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
So how pissed are the owners
Sarah
now?
Valley wrote that they might get a little extra payment on top of that, baby.
The owners must be pissed, huh?
The owners aren't pissed because of the agreement that they worked out. Yeah,
I'm joking because they're not under their thumbs anymore. That's all.
They're thrilled right now, the owners. And hey, boys, stick taps for Gary Bettman. I know some people hate his guts. That might get the chat going. But what he's done with this league and the way that it's on the rise, I would say over the last 5 to 10 years, guys, hockey's on a heater. We got a lot of good things in the pipeline. The players got to be pumped up about this. The escrow's no longer. The salary cap is going up even more so than expected. I think it's $300,000 more in which they originally said. So at $88 million right now, we have
the next year, Biz. See the year after that, 92.5.
Wow.
And that's not to say it couldn't be added. Like this year was supposed to be 87.7. and it went to 88, extra 300. Right now, no matter what, 92.5 for the following season, which is the last year of the CBA, that could get bumped maybe to 93. So you're looking at timing being everything in life. The guys who are free agents this summer and next summer are fucking laughing right now.
Salivating.
Yeah.
And
And for teams like the Devils, it doesn't make those Timo Meier type contracts look too bad, even though they're going to be shit the next couple
And it makes
years.
the Jack Hughes one look even better.
Oh my God,
even better. And you know, maybe it looks so good for them that their fans will start paying back their debts on the bets.
Ugh.
Who
Let's
knows?
stop asking for
Who knows?
before they cash.
Which
The
is
salary-
why you just sign 5-year deals. That's why Matthews is like the way he does it is like if it's skyrocketing like this, you're just gonna slide with that baby.
Yeah, the salary floor is going to be $65 million as well, so teams have to spend at least that. But yeah, great news for the league, great news for the players, good for everybody. I was just goofing on the owners because I know how they like to have the players underneath their thumbs as well. Utah, they've whittled their potential nickname list down to the final 6. They are Blizzard, Hockey Club, Utah HC, Mammoth, Outlaw, Venom, and Yeti.
Yeti's the only option.
I kind of like Mammoth.
The other ones sound very AHL-ish to me.
Have you guys seen the color scheme they came out with?
No, what is it?
The color scheme is very similar to UMaine. So it's like a dark blue, a light blue, and a white, which makes you think like it's not going to be Venom with those colors. Like it really makes you think when you see the color scheme.
It should be the Yeti. It should be the Yeti. I said that first thing.
They shouldn't be able to do Blizzard with there's already an Avalanche. Like you can't do Blizzard. It can't be Blizzard. I know I'm harping on Blizzard right now. It can't be Hockey Club. I don't like that.
Yeah, that's
Venom is they just left Arizona where I think snakes have venom, so that ain't gonna be it. And then what were the other ones? Outlaw? What the fuck's Outlaw?
Yeah,
There's
that
no
sounds like
Outlaws
an
in
AHL.
Utah.
Yeah.
Unless you consider people with a ton of wives outlaws, there's no outlaws. And then you got
not in
Yeti.
that state.
So Yeti.
I kind of like Mammoth, and I googled it. I guess apparently there've been a large amount of Mammoth fossils found in Utah over the years. I guess that's the reason for it. And then think about that's actually a pretty cool logo with like basically a big giant fucking crusted elephant with Chewbacca. Basically, that's a woolly mammoth. Well, it doesn't say woolly, but I think that'd be a pretty cool logo.
This is what a Yeti is. To me, this
awesome.
would be an
Like
unbelievable
an ice
mascot.
mountain Bigfoot.
It's a great name. And then get like the Yeti coolers to sponsor the team. It's just an easy fucking segue. Make a little bit of extra dough for the tailgates.
You are the biz man.
And then I mean there are other pictures of it, but this to me is an unbelievable mascot and an unbelievable logo on the.
That guy would kick your ass, Biz.
That guy would eat Bowie for Biz though.
Oh, I love that. Love that.
How about the announcement of the schedule for the 4 nations there, boys?
Oh,
sounds pretty sick.
TNT has 3 broadcasts with it. I'm super fired up.
I saw
USA, Canada in Montreal.
Look at that final is right across the street, baby. Definitely
That's going to be amazing.
That is going to be sick. Yeah, obviously, like we said, Sweden, Finland, USA, Canada, starting off next February at the Bell Center. The last 3 games here in Boston. And now that we know Czech's on it, I feel bad for Pasta even more after we talked to him last week. The fact that there's a guy, obviously a lot of guys that should be in this, but you feel bad that other teams aren't going to be in it, especially guys
he'll be in
Czech.
the Bahamas living it up.
Yeah.
But I know it does. At least next year, the year after, we got Italy, we got Olympics, we got everyone involved. I don't know what's going to happen with Russia. Kind of need them in that tournament, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But that's going to be a great little warm-up to the Olympics and the full country's best on best with 4 of the top nations going at it in Montreal and Boston. That's going to be sick.
It'd be interesting, too, Ami, if they did select Yeti, that would be the second nickname in a row that's based on a fictional creature, which is sort of like out of the box for the NHL because they kind of go with boring nicknames. You know what I mean? If you had Kraken, then Yeti, I mean, it's cool. I know it makes for good logos, jazzes up the league a little bit as well.
Right.
Yeah,
I love the
mystical
creativity.
There we go.
Hey, so
mystical.
on June 28th, I don't know about Sweden and Finland, but I know for a fact the U.S. and Canada are naming their first 6 players. So
Same
who do you
day as
guys
the
got?
McGregor fight.
Oh,
Same
who do you
day
guys
as
got?
The McGregor fight in Vegas.
Who are your first 6 for Canada, Biz?
Crosby,
McDavid,
Cale
Makar.
I would actually
Marchand.
announce
McKinnon.
You would
How did
put
we forget about McKinnon? Fuck.
You would put Brad Marchand as a top 6 guy. I would personally have Alex Pietrangelo as a top 6.
So that's 5. You still need one more.
Go goalie. Throw a goalie in there.
There ain't gonna be a goalie announced
Yeah,
yet.
you can't
That's where they're
announce a
that's where
goalie.
they're weakest.
Okay.
Who are we forgetting about? That's unreal.
Guys, fucking
Up front, probably Braden Point.
Point.
Is Stammer too old? I mean, he had 45
The
goals
reason I
last year.
say
don't-
Marchand, like I think Marchand makes the team, but I don't think I don't necessarily maybe he performed in playoffs and he's as elite of a player in the same conversation as a guy like Cale Makar, McKinnon, Crosby, and did I already say McDavid? McJesus. So like those four guys are for sure. And then I mean, to me, Alex Pietrangelo from a back end perspective, like you need I would say that considering Cale Makar is going, that you'd be a moron not to pick Taves. Right, that's an automatic.
I think Taves would be on that team.
Yeah, so but maybe not in the top 6. So I don't know. I think it would be a little bit more interesting to see who USA names as their top 6.
So you got Matthews, you got Tkachuk, probably both of them. I don't know. Do you name both of them as the first 6? But they're both on the team. But let's say Matthew Tkachuk. Then you go Quinn Hughes, right?
Jack.
I think he's got to be there considering he's going to win the Norris Trophy. Oh, boy. Then it gets just like Eichel.
Good problem to have.
Eichel.
Would you
Jason
say Adam
Robertson
Fox
one of the
is the
6?
top 6 guy?
What?
Would you say Adam Fox is
What
the
about
top
Quinn
6
Hughes?
guy?
I think if you're going, it depends. You might go 1D, 4 forwards, and a goalie. But I think the goalie, is it Swayman? I know USA has these riches of goaltenders now.
What about JT Miller?
Ottinger and Hellebuck.
Yeah. But
Good
problem to have,
the
though.
playoffs, though, I think you're looking at Swayman. I know Hellebuck's going to win the Vezina. He sounds stupid, but his first round was just so random and not like him. But, yeah, JT Miller might be one of those first 6 as well. USA, I can't wait. I have so much random money bet with, like, random listeners throughout Twitter that we have each other's Venmo and shit that it's on when this thing gets going.
Oh, I cannot wait. Cannot wait. But
somebody said Trouba in the chat.
Pasha's burner. All right, gang.
Guys,
boys,
great show.
Yeah. Oh, awesome time. I'm so happy we're doing this once again. The day after every game, we're going to be live doing our show. Actually, it's going to be after the game tomorrow night, after our stream. Don't forget the stream tomorrow night, game 2, Florida, Edmonton. And also, we're going to be at Edmonton later this week, Thursday, the meet and greet, 3 to 5 at the Canadian Ice House. It's right next to the Rogers Place, next to the Moss Pit. Can't wait to see it. See you, boys.
So
what's up?
Tuesday will be a podcast. It will not be a live show. We recorded after the stream Monday, but Tuesday will be a podcast, not live show.
What was that thing that just popped up at the bottom of the screen? I saw Witt's name. Was it a question for him or was that an accident?
I think someone clicked it on accident.
Okay. Well, we love you guys. We're going to have a great time in Edmonton. I think there's about a 95% chance that we all end up in Florida. And we're also going to be doing a Pink Whitney event there as well. We haven't locked down the time and location yet, but we're going to have plenty of pods. We're always doing day after the game, whether it's going to be a live pod or whether it's just going to be a regular pod. We're going to be coming at you guys every single day after there's a game to give a type of update like this. We're going to have the whole whack pack. Merles couldn't make it today, but obviously Army stood in. But it's going to be a great time in Edmonton. Make sure you pop by the brew house. And I think that we're going to actually be doing a little something at the Moss Pit before one of the games there. And Mr. Dave Portnoy, who's been riding the Edmonton Oilers. He has one of these crazy $1 million bets. He's won $5.5 million in the last 4 months. He might be making his way to Edmonton for game 4. It would be awesome to show him what the mega church in Canada has to offer with all you crazy Oilers fans. We'd love Tits McGee there, the whole whack pack. Dale Morningstar, Chiclets Memes will be there, and the whole whack pack, as we said. So we're fired up. Fish, Posha, all you Rangers fans, if you're in Edmonton or Florida, sucker Posha if you see him, and tell him that his AI imagery is out of control and nonsense. So we love you guys.
All right, guys, have a great day.
Love it.
Go Oilers.
Good job, chat.
Army, thanks for coming, buddy. See you, boys.